I gotta remember to always open up my Restream chat, yo. Burp. What's up? Come on in, come on over, baby, yeah. We're just starting out here. We're just starting out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just gonna give it a second so we can get some people up and... Got a few things going on today. Got some laundry to fold. I'm on some motivational kick shit today. Come on in, come on in, come on in, everybody. Everybody, yeah.
Got him.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
I hate these. Got him. He's down. He's down. He's down.
Yo, bloodhound. You got to way the fuck over there.
Got knocked. Got a knock.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. What up, what up, what up? Thanks for coming by, Mr. Hyper! I'm not ass. I'm not ass. Say it to my face. Say it to my face. I'm not ass. How you been, man? It's been a couple days. Yeah, it's been like 3 or 4 days, actually. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Oh shit! Let me turn off the speaker so that you're not getting the dubby dubs.
Let's go.
The dubby dub dubby dubs. The dubby dub.
Everybody push and shot and aim. Perfect.
Somebody help me!
Came out there.
Ah, shit! Right here, guys. I knocked one. I don't know about the other one, though. We know, because you just don't think. We know. Heads up, right here. He's down, Octane's down. There they go. They were hiding behind the box. What's happening, y'all? What's happening?
Got down.
What's good, everybody? Hello, Hyper. How are you? Whether you guys are watching this now or later, I do appreciate y'all coming. It's been since, I think, Saturday since I've streamed for gaming or anything of this nature, just chatting. I did the podcast Tuesday. I did my podcast and Popcorn and Pints. I did Popcorn and Pints Saturday. I did the Midnight Matinee Saturday. I got a little catch up to still play for that. My goal this week is to get all of the episodes from the Midnight Matinee up on Anchor and on Spotify and iTunes so that you guys can all find it, so that you can listen to it and enjoy it throughout your day. Today, I'm on a little bit of a different kick. I'm on some motivational shit today, so I'm going to play this. I'm going to shout out a bunch of new people that came and followed and liked on the TikTok, Instagram. I'm also going to shout out some dope streamers that I've been following and watching myself right here live, so I appreciate it. Send everybody in. What's good, G-Father? Yo, was told that you didn't spend time on my knee. Wait, yo, was told to tell you that I didn't spend time on my knees. Wait, what? What happened? I am so confused. But it's good to see you, Lou. Appreciate you coming through. Hope everything's going well for today. I'm going to play this right now for all of y'all. I'm going to go grab my laundry, get my shit thrown on my chair, fold while this is playing. I got another video possibly that might play after this I want to talk about at the same time. And then I'm going to do some shout outs. I'm going to say what up to a few streamers. Thank everybody for coming to show my gratitude. And with no further ado, let's get it.
Not any smarter. I'm not any more gifted. I don't have any talents that you don't have. And at different points of my life, just like you, I've let myself get out of shape, and I've tried to make excuses. I've tried to justify my actions. You know, I tell myself all the same shit. I'm too busy. I'm running 7 companies. I've got literally thousands of people that depend on me on a daily basis, and I have all this pressure and all these things and all this stuff, and I try to justify it, but in my heart, I still know it's bullshit. Okay, I know I'm lying to myself. I know that my discipline edge, my discipline blade, so to speak, is getting dull.
I'll be sure to mention it to that girl next time I'm in her chat, which I got her stream up right now. She's one of the ones I'm going to be shouting out, actually.
You want to know how hard you are? Look in the fucking mirror. That's an exact...
These freaking commercials, YouTube.
Exact mirror image of how hard you are on the fucking inside. But here's the thing. Everybody sees people who look great, who have all the confidence, who have all the...
So I just got to say, I just found this dude, Andy Frizella. I mean, I'm always looking around for different things to help keep me on pace and shit like that, especially when I'm having a day like today. Today's one of those days where I woke up, I felt really good. I've been trying to make sure I stay on a certain schedule for myself and things. But for the past few days, it's been a little bit tough for me. I'm not going to lie. It's been a little bit tough. I've been still doing other things for the stream and shit and some content stuff, but I actually haven't posted anything. I fell behind on a couple things that I wanted to do, and I just kind of said, fuck it. But I've been still doing some shit. There's always some stuff to be done, obviously, so it's one of those things. But I have been spending a little time in the garden, went for a walk, you know, trying to enjoy a little bit of the sunshine and the breeze from under the table every so often. But it's been a little bit tough this week. I'm super motivated. I still want to put out content. I'm going to put out content for you guys, so don't be worried about that. Shit's still coming. But every once in a while, I need a little bit of a kick in the butt. And since there ain't nobody else here during the day from kicking me in the butt, my girl is motivation, obviously. She's one of my biggest supporters. But sometimes you need a little more oomph. You know what I mean? You just need a little bit more get your fat ass up. Do that. So this is why I'm super dope about this. Super excited.
Self-esteem, who have all this ability, who have all these things going for them, and they think they got it all figured out. They think it's easy for them, and that's one of the justifications that they tell themselves, all right? It's not like there aren't days I don't want to go to the gym. The truth is, most of the days I don't want to go to the gym, but I do, even though I don't feel like it. Doesn't matter if there's a fucking tornado, if there's a snowstorm, if there's a hurricane.
Of course, I didn't forget about you, G-Father Lou and Hyper Just Better. Always appreciate the love and the support.
If the fucking world is on fire, the job has to get done. It's about executing regardless of your emotions, all right? And that's a well-covered topic. I talk about it a lot, all right? But what almost no one talks about is starting to love the days you have to execute, that you have to perform, that you have to get the job done, especially when you don't feel like it. That's what I call test days, and that's what I want to cover with you guys. These test days, guys, these are the days that test your qualities. They test your characters. They test who you think you are. They test your fortitude. They test your endurance, your discipline, your grit, your dedication, your determination, your mental toughness, your character.
Well, if you want to go to the gym, come with me. I need a gym partner. Bro, first of all, where and how far away do I need to travel to go to this gym with you? Secondly, it's not so much about going to the gym. It's more of just I should have made that a little bit clearer, I guess. Physically, I'm okay. I could definitely work on a few other things and kind of get myself down even further and get myself a little bit more solid like I was back in the day. But it's not about that. It's more of just about the no excuses, just getting up. Do what you got to do. Also, the Planet Fitness on Altamont. Got you. Well, I'll definitely think about that because this morning, literally, as I was walking up my stairs, I was like, man, maybe I should start going to the gym. But then I was like, why don't I just go for a run and do my calisthenics and my planking and all that other shit that kind of keeps you toned and shit like that. I'm pretty sure I got something going on in my neck and my back because I've heard it in the past. And I feel like progressively I've gotten weaker over time with certain things. But yeah. No, I go to crunch. Got you. No, I hear you on that.
Is in question on these days. You are testing your ability to do something. And that something is something significant to your dreams. It's something critical to your goals. At the very moment when everything in you wants to do absolutely nothing. When you'd rather sit on the couch and eat.
There's dope messages in here about mental fortitude and pretty much grit and stuff like that, and keeping yourself pushing through even when you feel like you shouldn't. There's another one I'm gonna play. It's called Slay. What is it? Slay the Beast? Yeah, I think it's called Slay the Beast. Fucking super dope.
Fucking Cheetos than go to the gym. When you'd rather die than send another email or take another phone call or talk to another human, you gotta get the job done. That's the key to success. That's what we're talking about, testing yourself. That's the test you have to pass in order to earn your way into the life that you desire. Okay? But most people dread these days. Most people are scared of these days. But not me. And not people who win consistently. Why is that?
After saving with customized car insurance from Liberty Mutual, I customize everything. Like Marco's backpack.
Again with these freaking commercials.
Well, one, it's an opportunity to prove to everyone else, but most importantly,
Hey, Toronto's online.
yourself.
Are you
what
playing
you're
right
made
now?
of. It's an opportunity to prove that you're a winner.
at work,
It's an
right?
opportunity to
Fucking
prove
Wednesday afternoon.
you are what you say you are in your head when you look in the mirror. When you look in the mirror and you say, there goes a bad
My
motherfucker,
face
you
blank, I
actually
forget what day
believe
it
it.
is.
That's the
That's part of this
importance
video right
of
here, trying to
passing
keep
these
myself
tests.
straight,
Successful
focused,
people
remembering all the
love
shit
the
I gotta do.
experience of not feeling like doing shit, but
I'm
then
surprised I do
going
as much
and
as I do
kicking
without, like,
ass anyway.
no
They
taking
understand that
or
those are the real
a board.
victories in life. They understand
love to
that it's
implement.
easy to
I
do
have a couple
shit
drivers
when you
or
feel
something, I
like
just gotta
doing
find
shit,
them.
but they also understand that the
Oh, shit,
real
you're on?
magic,
What the
the
fuck?
real glory is earned when your heart is not into something, but your mind tells you, fuck you, I'm
Well,
gonna do this
what
shit
time, too,
anyway,
because
and
I got-
does it. That's
I
where
run
people
around, I drop
separate
people off for
themselves
work
from
and
the
stuff.
pack. That's where people
I
earn
kinda play
the
the role as
right
well.
to success. They earn the money, they earn the life, they earn the relationship, they earn the body in those little
Days all
moments
spread out, which is why I'm doing this.
where they
Like, I
don't
usually get on
want
10
to
10
do
like 2.
what they
Today I
need to
took a little
do,
break, was listening to
but
some of this
move
shit.
forward regardless of how they feel. That's
By
what
6:30. Let me
champions
see what
know,
Danae's schedule's
champions
like, 'cause
understand,
sometimes she
and
gets off
champions
5,
fucking
from
thrive
5,
on.
sometimes she
And
gets
those are
off
called your test
7.
days.
It all
Now,
kinda
I know
depends.
you're wondering, how do you learn to love these
appreciate it. Don't get
days
me
when
wrong,
these
I'm not
days
making
are hard?
excuses.
Well,
Believe
I
me, I'm
think
not
I
making
just
excuses.
explained a lot of that, but you have to first learn how to spot
telling
them,
you facts,
okay?
my
A
guy.
lot of people can't
Well,
even
shit I gotta do
spot
in between.
when these days are. How do you know when a test day's happening? How do you know when you're having one of these days? Well,
So honestly, what I was thinking about doing is, because I've been going to sleep a little bit earlier for the past like 2 or 3 weeks, waking up super early. And for the past like 3-4 days, I've been going to sleep a little bit later than what I like to or want to. Usually I'm a night owl. I don't care if I stay up till 3-4 o'clock in the morning, get up at like 6-7, and then fucking maybe get a nap in the day if need be, which it's usually rare. I listen to my body, and usually I go till I can't, and then I'm down for the count for like 6-10 hours. You know what I mean? Which I mean, I guess ain't good, but isn't bad either, because I mean, shit. What successful people do you know actually sleep 8 hours a day and don't get up at 5 a.m. to do their workout and do all that other shit? But yeah, I've been thinking about when I get up in the morning, because I usually get up and I'll do something to get my mind going, whether it's put on some type of a video like this in my headphones, or I'll get up and I'll do dishes or some laundry, get shit going and ready for the day. So yeah, I'm thinking about when I get up, I'm going to get back to, I had a little routine going about 6-8 months ago where I would get up and either go for a walk around the block or just go straight down into the floor and do a little bit of some calisthenics or just some planking and shit, just like strength training shit, while giving my thanks and all that shit, you know what I mean, for being able to breathe another day.
guys, it's really simple. You feel them, okay? The minute you start thinking, I don't want to do this, the minute that feeling creeps in, that's the time you're having a test. The minute you feel the ache of, I'd rather do something else, I'd rather do anything else than this, that's the
chat.
test.
Thanks for coming. It is
The minute you
Motivational
train
Wednesday.
yourself to say, this is my
It was actually supposed to be
opportunity,
Motivational Monday, but
is
like I
the
said, I'm
minute
having a little bit
you
of a
go from loser
issue with
to fucking winner.
using my
And
motivation
this is a
to get up
skill.
and do some stuff
This
here
is
and
something
get
you
on the team
practice.
and actually
All right?
post stuff instead
You
of just
have
create
to
stuff.
understand that at
trying
that
to come up with
point
other
where
plans
you
as well, put
see
things into
yourself
motion so that,
recognizing that I'm having a test
eventually
and
this
that
can
this is my
be what it needs to
opportunity
be
to
for me.
prove to myself,
Because the end
that's
goal
when you
is to
stop
actually,
having
make a living
dialogue with your
and
emotions. You
earn
stop
coin and
negotiating
be able to
with your
provide and do all
feelings,
that other
and you
stuff.
start
You know,
to
keep it
act. I
developing,
call this a
growing, and
production
evolving
pivot.
for everybody.
Production pivot is
I seem to be
you
getting
recognize
some
the
decent
feeling,
reception.
you use it as a trigger to act,
people seem
and
to
you
be
get up
responding
and
to
you
me.
start moving,
almost
okay?
at
And that's what I
500
want to,
mark
what's a
on
trigger,
TikTok.
all right?
Just went
Every
up more on
addiction
Instagram,
has a trigger.
getting more views.
And when you
almost
start to
affiliate
act,
here on Twitch.
that's when the magic happens,
So I'm
okay?
definitely planning
When you
a few
step
things,
up on a
trying to
test day,
think of what
when you
sponsors are gonna be good for my
successfully
brand and stuff
complete
like that, so I
a
can start
test day,
reaching
it's
out.
going to be one of the most
I have
euphoric,
things in the works
powerful
as far as,
experiences
waiting
that
for
you've
you
ever
guys to
had. You're
support me
going to
as well.
see immediate confidence,
If you
immediate
like to,
boost in
want
self-esteem.
to,
All right, you guys
never
know what this
obligated,
feels like because
super
you've
dope that you guys
inherently
even come
done
to
it,
hang out.
even on accident sometimes. You
But I
can't
got
tell me that there's
tons
been a
of things with
time
people that-
where you've
that work
resisted
non-for-profits,
the opportunity
ideas
to be
going,
a
I got
lazy
things
fuck
for,
and move forward anyway. You've
help
done this
spread
and you know what it
community,
feels like. And this is how you
activism
build
stuff or
the
community
process of
charitable
momentum,
stuff.
okay? And you'll want it to happen again.
Yeah.
You're gonna look for the test. You're gonna
Ideas to
become so
collaborate with a couple
focused on the
different
test
people, keep
that you're
that
gonna
stuff
be
going,
like
like I
what
did
I
with
said
the
in the
podcast.
beginning of the show, which was, I
there's gonna be a
wish
con,
the test was
I think
harder.
four
And
cons
what
or something
happens
like that.
when you
I can't
start to
remember
make the
if it's
test
four or
harder?
like
Your
con
strength
I
and your
think it's four.
skills and your
It's not
character
two.
gets stronger. All right, but here's the key.
Our area is
You've
connected
got to
out there
recognize the
with
feeling because the
Yeah,
feeling
profit.
is the trigger.
So
Every
probably
addiction
gonna
has
be
triggers.
making an
You'll
appearance
come
there
to
in
understand
August
that
for
the
Sir
feelings of
Surgery.
not wanting to do something are your triggers. These are the signs that you're having an opportunity to indulge in your
restarting and
addiction,
opening one of my
and
other
your
channels up
addiction
again that I
is
started
fucking
last
winning.
year. And
That's how you're going to learn to love test days, and that's how you're going to produce the skills you need, which are the qualities that I mentioned before: fortitude, endurance, discipline, grit, dedication, mental toughness, that are the building blocks of building a successful life.
Weirder of a discovery service at the current moment for content, but it was working. So I'm maybe revisiting that. That's part of me spending some time outside in the garden and such. So that's super dope. Lou, you know what I'm talking about. I was supposed to get some stickers from you. Let me go over here real quick and get that other video. History. I love this one. This one's called Slay the Monster. I fucking love this one.
We all have that monster that lives in our head. And that monster is
the bigger
the thing,
one in my
whatever the thing may be, whether it's
working
working out, or whether it's following a diet, or whether it's calling on that account that you're nervous to call on.
And this kind of helps me get my tasks done too, because
whether
I'm
it's
over
asking
here,
that
got
person
going,
whatever it
I'm doing what I
is,
gotta do.
we all have a
the
monster.
messages, I'm
Okay,
talking,
sometimes
I'm
it's the insecurity we feel
or
about
at least
our
I think
bodies.
I'm entertaining. If I'm
Sometimes
not,
it's
let me
the
know.
inadequacies that we feel just because of the pressures of the society we live in. Sometimes we're just pissed off, and we don't know why. And whatever that why is the monster. Okay, these are the things that keep us up at night. These are the things that discourage us and cause us anxiety and cause us fear. You ever been walking around and you really don't know why you feel off, but then all of a sudden, you do that thing that you've been kind of putting off, and then you feel better. Okay, that's what slaying the monster is about. And the reason that we call it slaying the monster is because if you don't slay the monster will eat you the fuck alive. Okay, you will live a life of anxiety, of fear, of confusion, of frustration if you don't make a habit of slaying the monster. All right, so you have to understand, this is normal for people to do. We all have...
You hear me? It's normal for people. It's okay. As long as you fucking realize what the trigger is and you act when that trigger hits. That's how you overcome the shit and you slay that monster.
Have days where we don't feel like doing what we need to do. We all have days we struggle. We all have days that we dread getting out of bed. We all have these days, guys, every single one of us. But the reason that we have these days usually comes down to we are not doing something that needs to be done, all right? That's the monster. So think about what that is in your life right now. Think about what it is that you're not doing that you could do right now that will actually relieve the stress, the frustration, the anxiety that you're walking around with. Maybe it's having a conversation that needs to be had.
I will be hitting affiliate by probably the end of the week, so I gotta
maybe it's talking to your boss. Maybe it's talking to your significant other. Who knows? But something is causing you to feel this way. And unless you understand that you have to slay that, meaning take care of it, get done with it, you are going to continue to live in anxiety, frustration, fear, and the way you feel right now. And you don't want to feel that way. Okay? So a lot of us go our whole lives not understanding why we're walking around with extra stress and extra frustration and extra anxiety. And when you feel yourself feeling this way, I want you to think about what the monster is. What's the monster? Okay? Because here's the thing, and we are all guilty of this, me included, okay? The longer we allow that monster to live in our brains, in our minds, the bigger and stronger it gets, the scarier it gets, the more powerful it's perceived to be. And what ends up happening is we build this thing up to be so much stronger and so much bigger and so much scarier than it actually is, that it causes us a disproportionate amount of anxiety, fear, and frustration in our day-to-day lives. All right, nothing's that hard. Nothing's that bad. And if you would just learn to take care of these things as they come to you.
G-Father in the chat knows me a little bit better because he knows me in real life or whatnot. He knows I've hit a couple bumps and bruises. I've been through some shit. I've made some shit happen. Got through more bumps and bruises, and now this is where we're at. So that's why I'm trying to make sure that I can consistently stay on top of being motivating, being a driving force, helping others like me be a driving force, get their stream going, get viewership happening as well for them, bringing, different messages of positivity and motivation to the world as well, because there's always somebody who might need to hear the word. It might not come from the person they want to hear it from, but then they might come from a different person. The same exact message might finally be received if you're watching the stream, and I love that aspect of it, because who knows what stage you're at, what's going through your mind, what kind of shit you've been through. I don't, only you do, you know what I mean? And only you can be true with yourself. So if any of this is going to help you, then I'm super happy to be providing it for you, playing it with you as I'm getting my motivation as well, and helping drive the force of keeping the stream going, keeping the content creation pushing. I do have segments. I was actually supposed to do a little bit of a motivational segment or help somebody who was dear to me, who we lost recently, help her with her content goals and her new mission, but that didn't work out, unfortunately. So now this is part of my way to pay homage and making sure that I'm always being upbeat. I'm always trying to have a good time with everybody. I'm always trying to make sure that I keep certain things in mind, and I'm mindful about certain things I'm saying when I'm saying them at times, and that's why I stream the way I stream, and I do things the way I do things, and I try to keep it light and fun, but still respectful, still mindful, still intentful, so that the stream means something, and it, hopefully felt by the viewership.
You would learn that there's a lot of freedom in understanding how to kill this monster in your brain when it's a little bitty monster, not a big, bad, scary monster. And the reason I was inspired to talk to you about this today, guys, is because I had a project that I've been putting off, and I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, literally putting off the project for like a year because I was so frustrated with how the project was going. And what happened in that time was the project got scarier. It got more difficult. And I'm laughing because literally I sat down yesterday and knocked it out in an hour. And I spent a whole entire year having anxiety and stress and frustration about not having it done. And the minute that I had it done, I felt great. Okay? So it's necessary for us to understand a couple things. One, we have to identify what that monster is that's causing us all this negativity and all this anxiety and all this energy that's bad. And two, we've got to go slay the motherfucker. All right?
Now to that, I also got to say, sometimes that monster isn't just an internal struggle. Sometimes that monster is an exterior thing that's coming at you. Sometimes that could be a post on social media. Sometimes that could be someone who's dearest to you and close to you. If they're not helping you, if they're not pushing you, if they're not motivating you, if they're not positive about you and spreading that energy and giving you what you need, they're not helping you to succeed, they don't want to see you succeed, and it always seems like they're the ones that are talking the down shit, then that fucking monster's got to get slayed. You got to slay that shit. It might suck. There might be difficult conversations. The dynamic of the relationship might change. But at the same time, who are you looking out for at the end of the day more? That person or you? If you can't live the life you want to live and things don't go the way they're going for whatever reason, and you start to look around and you realize either you're the negative one or somebody else is the negative one, or a group of people that you associate with are the negative ones that are always pulling you down, always trying to get you to go here, go there, spend time aimlessly or unintentfully, spend money very, very just blah, just like out there for no fucking reason, with no thought behind it, no care of, is this actually going to help you or is this affecting you in a negative way? Then guess what? That's a monster. Slay that shit. Get that shit out.
That's what has to happen. And the reason it has to happen is because unless we take care of these issues, we end up making them into something that sucks all of our positive energy, all of our...
Look, Lou just dropped in on a comment, says sometimes that monster is a person that sleeps by your side. That is 100% true. If you're not fucking paying attention and shit just... that's the thing, man. It's like if you can't be honest with yourself and you're just going to go through life pretending, that shit's okay when it's not, and you can't voice it to try to make it better, and it's always a constant struggle. Not saying things should be easy or relationships are easy, but what I'm saying is, if that person is constantly the reason why you're feeling down, you're feeling demotivated, or you're just feeling like you gotta just whatever and submit, and you can't do what you want to do, or you can't push through for whatever reason, and they don't give a fuck about how you're feeling about certain things, you got to figure some shit out. You got to, no matter how hard it is. And I know a lot of people have a lot of things and webs that are weaved in and out with each other, you know, with finances, kids, mortgages, houses, cars, insurance, all that shit. But at the end of the day, that shit can be rebuilt. That shit can be regained. Fucking do what you gotta do. Split whatever you can. Walk away from the shit if you have to. If it truly means your happiness, your sanity, and you feeling like you can go and be what you gotta be in this world and actually provide for this world in the way that you were sent here to do. Whether you believe in the higher power, whether you believe there's a source, whether you believe this is the matrix, whatever. If you feel like your coding is not being fucking met or used appropriately, and one of the biggest hindrances is the person to your left or the person to your right or the person who you lay with, you got to figure something out.
Momentum, all of our positive brain projection and activity and creativity that we would have, because we're worried about something that isn't even that bad. Okay? Once you get done with this, you're going to be reminded how great it feels to overcome these situations, guys. And isn't that when we feel the most alive? Isn't that when we have the best feelings about ourselves right after we do something that we've been dreading to do? It is, and you know it is. Because every single one of you, no matter how frustrated or how much you may be struggling right now, you all have experienced what I'm talking about. You've all slayed a monster in the past, which means you could slay plenty of these motherfuckers in the future. Some of you people don't fucking get it, okay? And I'm talking specifically to you young people. And I want you to think about something. I want you to think about...
This shit's key right here. This shit is a key, especially for I don't even want to say just millennials or Gen Zers, or honestly, even people of my generation that are, 30, 35. Sometimes we lose sight that, hey, you got to work for shit. You got to do things. You got to grind. You got to fucking, play nice with certain people at times. You got to, rub things the right way. And I'm horrible with always needing this reminder, because I'm so prideful at times, and like I know what I know from the experiences that I have, and I've been through shit that it makes it very difficult for me to swallow a lot of pills, especially having the knowledge that I have now from some of my failures and some of my successes and all this other shit. So that's why, like, I'm doing this right now, and I'm not doing anything else, because this is one of the best ways for me to be able to get in front of people and do meaningful things and try to engage and actually, be received without having to worry about playing some of the games that you have to, either in the corporate world or, just dealing with certain peoples and certain entities to try to get something out of them or my way. One hand always washes the other, but there's a way about going things where it's not a toxic thing. It's not always a gimme, gimme, gimme. You got to be pouring back in those cups if you getting poured into yourself and you're taking from other people's cups. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So this is my way to give back. This is my way to be positive. This is my way to entertain and make people smile if they come to my stream and they have a good time. That's why I'm doing this right now.
About some of the greatest accomplishments that have ever happened in the world, okay? I'm talking about the Wright brothers inventing an airplane. I'm talking about, Usain Bolt running a 100-meter dash, setting a world record. I'm talking about 4-minute mile, okay? I'm talking about some of the greatest achievements in human history. Do you think that any of these people, any single one of them, got where they want to go or accomplish what it is they set out to accomplish by going half-ass, by going half-throttle? Okay, Lewis Hamilton isn't the Formula One champion because he goes around the motherfucking racetrack at half-throttle. Okay? The Buccaneers aren't the Super Bowl champions because they played the Super Bowl half-throttle. All right? But everywhere I look around, I see young people. When I say young people, normally I mean young in entrepreneurship. But right now, I mean fucking young. I mean 16 to 25, okay? If you guys don't wake the fuck up and understand what the world's...
Whoo! Woo, this hair being down is getting to me. I know it's 80 degrees today. Holy Jesus, thank God, Lord Almighty. I needed some nice weather. Yes, I did. But this fucking hair, whew, as much as I love it, I hate this shit.
Really about, you're going to lose. And not only are you going to lose, your kids are going to lose. And their kids are going to lose. And their kids are going to lose. Because you guys have been indoctrinated by the education system, by your parents, by your teachers, by social trends to believe that everything is just going to happen for you, okay? And what I see now is a big group of our population who are young beating on this victim drum and trying to identify what victim group they belong to. And I'm gonna tell you guys can beat on that drum as long and as loud as you want to. You can do it your whole life, and a lot of people do, and you will never win with that, ever. So you have a question to ask yourself. Do you actually want a fulfilling, good life? Or do you want to just beat this fucking drum your whole life? Because the people that you listen to in your school, your parents, the people on TV and the media, they're all telling you the same shit. Oh, take it easy on yourself. Oh, it's okay to get 17th place. Oh, everything matters. And you're special. Guys,
what
you're
up,
not
living
special.
That girl?
Fucking 17th place.
That girl in the house, show some love, show some respect, and let him know Lou did not spend his time on his knees. I was told to relay a message, G-Father said. So I don't know what that was about, but I'm going to need to know in a little bit here. All right?
Place doesn't mean shit. It ain't ever going to mean shit. And if you think it means shit, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get shit your whole fucking life. Okay? And I'm so tired of seeing people who can't recognize the obvious of that you have a choice. You have a choice. Your choice is to either join this group over here of nobodies and nothings and celebrate nothing with them every fucking weekend and bitch and moan and cry about how everybody fucked you and society fucked you and your job fucked you and your upbringing fucked you and your race fucked you and the government fucked you, and you're gonna fucking go over there and you're gonna be fucking miserable. Or you can come over here and you can understand that the only thing noble about victimhood is overcoming it. You can understand that the only thing noble about your life is going to be what you show people is actually possible, okay? We're all put here for a fucking reason, and it's not to go over here and beat on this drum about what should be and what's not fair. The world will never be fair. The world will never, ever be fucking fair. Someone will always have an easier path than you. Someone will always have a more difficult path than you.
Got emotional.
Regardless of how difficult you think your path.
Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. I really want to know what the hell we going on about right now. I'm in with it. Don't get me wrong. Whatever. Listen. Sometimes you got to spend a little time on your knees, whether it's praying or having lunch. You know what I'm saying?
Path is, there's lots of people out there who have had that same path and actually won huge with that path. You're just choosing not to. And guys, if you can't understand that you have to make this decision, you are going to be in deep shit come your 30s and your 40s and your 50s. And if you don't believe me, go look at the people in the 30s, 40s, and 50s that you know and listen to what they say. And I guarantee you're going to hear a whole bunch of shit about how the world's unfair, how they got screwed, how their job screwed them, or their wife or husband screwed them, and they're going to have this long list of events that happened to them that have created the scenario that they live in now. And I don't buy that shit. I don't buy it.
Oh, I always sleep good whether I'm giving or receiving. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta make everybody go to sleep real nice. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's you who gets to go to sleep real nice. Sometimes, you just gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Rock on, brother. Rock on.
It's not true. Because what really happened was they gave the fuck up. They decided that instead of investing their time in skills like discipline and grit and fortitude and the ability to overcome, and the ability to understand how to get shit done, and the ability on how to understand how details actually create the skill set in your life. Okay, they don't do that. They just go over here and cry. So your choice is go over here and cry, or put the work in now to invest in these skills. Okay, and what are these skills that you need? Well, I'm going to tell you the biggest one. The biggest one you're going to need is learn to see the fucking details and to learn that they all matter. Because it doesn't matter if you're cooking fucking french fries or making decisions about
Sometimes you gotta fall asleep at the buffet. You know what I'm saying?
billion-dollar deals, okay? How you do the job is what matters. And you might be sitting there at McDonald's right now thinking, well, fuck, nobody appreciates that I make these fries extra good every time. It doesn't matter if they appreciate it or not. What matters is if you do it or not, because the next opportunity you have, what you're doing is you're ingraining inside of yourself the ability to do a great fucking job. And when you do a great fucking job and you take pride in your job and the outcome that it produces, guess what happens? You become more valuable. So now you're doing the fries, next week you're doing the fucking tacos and the burgers. Okay, and those are good too.
I love this part. It's not about the fucking end result. It's about the journey, right? It's about the details in what you do to get to what you need to get the results you need. Love this shit.
Next thing after that, you're asked to manage a shift. You do that, you take the same attention detail, you put it in there. All of a sudden, you're on a track, okay? This is how it works. But because you have surrounded yourself with a bunch of fucking losers who bitch and moan and cry about fucking everything, you can't see that. And so you don't do it.
It depends on how long you've been sitting at the buffet, girl. Shit! Sometimes we need a break.
Because you don't do it, you don't develop the skills. And because you don't develop the skills, the opportunities never present themselves. And this, my friends, is the cycle that most of you are in. So you have a decision to make. Your decision is go beat on the fucking victim drum or come over here and figure out what the fuck it takes to be successful. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there's not one motherfucker, not one on this motherfucking planet, not a single human who beats that fucking drum that has fucking won. Not a single one. Now you might say, oh, well, there's so-and-so, so-and-so's a victim and he's a fucking, a millionaire. Yeah, but I would say that getting donations to go speak about a cause and then siphoning those donations for your personal wealth isn't a very fucking great way to become successful. I think that's weak as fuck, okay? What's strong as fuck is acknowledging your hardships, acknowledging your setbacks, acknowledging your difficulties, acknowledging the things that you don't have in line, and then fixing them, and then teaching other people how to do the same. And you do that through your life. I'm not talking about getting on stage and going to a seminar, and you don't have to become a speaker or fucking counselor or this or that or guru like all these clowns on the
I don't know if you can see it or not. Hold on. I can't tell. Luckily for me, I am both a fat kid as well. Yup.
The internet, you have to do none of that shit. All you got to do is live your life that way, and the people around you will level up. The people around you will see what you're doing, and they will begin to believe in themselves. And when they believe in themselves, they fix themselves. And when they fix themselves, the other people around them begin to fix, and the ripple effect is fucking endless. But it takes you making that decision. It takes you deciding that you're not going to go over here just because it's popular. You're not going to give an excuse because it's an acceptable excuse. I don't give a fuck how acceptable your excuse is. It's still a fucking excuse. And that's how the world sees it too. The world does not care about your hardships. If it did, the people who have the most hardships would be the most successful. And that's just not the case. All right? Nobody's become great. And even if you don't become great, like let's just say You're listening to this, you're like, yeah, Andy, I don't want to run a 4-minute mile. Well, you know what? I don't fucking want to run a 4-minute mile either. I have no desire to do so. But I want to be fucking good at what I do. And I want the people around me to be great at what they do. And I want the people around them to be great. And I know that starts with fucking me. And I know that starts with me honing in my personal skill set in every situation possible. I had a scenario in my own gym today where there was some dirt on the mirrors. And I got a little upset with the crew because that's their job. That's what they're paid to do. They're paid to keep the mirrors clean. Clearly, they weren't seeing the little spots on the mirrors. And I got upset about it. And they looked at me and they said, I could tell they didn't really understand why I'm so upset. But why I'm so upset is very obvious if you think about it. Because if you could train yourself to see the details and take care of them, you're building a skill. Okay? And what I was upset about was not that the dirt was on the mirror, was that my staff was not taking the initiative to build the skill within themselves. And that tells me something about them. Now, it could have been just a mistake or an oversight, but I still see it as that because that's how I see the world. All right? So when you see, if you ever observe me and you see me pick up trash or pick up a penny or pick up fucking somebody else's mess, I'm not trying to show you a fucking thing. This ain't about me trying to show you shit, and this is where a lot of you guys get off. You get off track with it. It's not about what you think of me. I don't give a fuck what you think. I care about what I think and what skills I build. And the reason I'm picking up that trash or picking up that penny or cleaning up someone else's mess is because I'm building the skills within myself to win. And see, once you can flip that switch, once you can understand that it's not about what people see, it's not about what people think, it's not about, somebody else, it's not somebody else's responsibility, and you start to understand all this, and that it's really about you investing in yourself to build your skills so that long term you can fucking win, it changes the fucking game, dude.
And that's why these days I try not to bitch and moan about things either way, left or right, just to... Ooh, got a message, what's that? But yeah, that's why I like... I'm old school when it comes to shit, like with the house and everything, so... Yeah, okay. Oop. So yeah, I gotta get going here in a little bit, but this turned out to be a little bit longer than I thought of just the.
And I'm telling you guys, you young people who are listening to all this victim shit, the popularity of victimhood has never been like this in my entire life. It's like people are in competition for who the fuck the biggest victim is, which is a competition for who the biggest fucking loser's gonna be. And I've been a real victim. I got stabbed in the fucking face. Okay, my face is permanently disfigured. I got fucking, my face is paralyzed. Like, dude, I know what fucking a victim is.
At the end of the day, we're all on the same team trying to get the same.
You motherfuckers don't know nothing about being a victim. You just haven't fucking tried. And you don't understand what it's gonna take. And guys, back to what I was saying. When some of you guys saying, oh, I don't want to run a 4-minute mile, blah, blah, blah. Well, let me tell you something. For you to be functional, for you to have a decent career, for you to have a decent house with a decent bank account and a decent car and a decent fucking life, where you can travel and have some sort of fucking freedom, you are going to have to learn what I'm talking about. This is not just about being great. This is about being effective and functional in today's society. The competition is high, bro. It's high. So if you want that $500,000 house and that fucking Range Rover and the shit that you guys want, maybe that's what you want. That's not what I want. I want to own Range Rover, the fucking company. Okay? But we all got different fucking goals. You guys think because just that your goal is smaller, you can half throttle it, and you can't. You can't. Okay? So get this idea out of your head and make the decision now when you're young. Don't go over here and beat this victim drum and be like every other fucking clown. Those people will be in the same fucking spot 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now as they are now. And if you don't believe me, go fucking look at the people you know that are those ages and listen to them real carefully. Are they empowered? Are they confident? Are they proud? Are they fulfilled? Or are they bitter? Do they have regrets? Are they hiding those regrets with heavy alcohol use and fucking abusing their bodies and all this other shit and then pretending it's normal? The answer is fucking obvious, guys. And my whole point of this whole entire little rant is for you to understand it now before it's too late. Okay? I want you guys to win. This isn't about hating the narrative, which I fucking do with a passion because it's lies. But it's not about that. It's not about me taking a position. This is about me making you, no matter who the fuck you are, whether you're white, black, gay, straight, fucking yellow, red, brown, I don't give a fuck. No matter who you are and where the fuck you're from, this is about me getting you to go over here and start investing in yourself as opposed to joining the rest of the fucking clown parade and being nothing forever. Okay, so you can get mad at me all you want. You can say I'm a jerk and you can say all this shit. But dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, I've been down this fucking path. I've done this shit. My first 10 years in business, I made $58,000 total. I made $695 a month.
That was so, when I first heard that this morning, that was so hitting home for me. That I just had to play it over and over and over and over again and had to keep reminding myself, yo, like there's something about professionals and them saying, hey, you need 10,000 hours to be, you know, the guy, the expert, the go-to, the GOAT. You know, how many missed shots Michael Jordan had, how many missed shots LeBron or Curry had, or, you know, D Wade, how many fucking blocks did he miss, or how many rebounds did he get, or how many rebounds did he get? Like, just the grind of keeping to fundamentals, growing, elaborating, not thinking that because you can do it, that's it, it's done, you were able to do it, you did it as best you could, that's great, you can get better, you can do more, you can keep pushing, you can keep achieving, you can keep changing your process to get even better and better and better, or realize an easier way to do it for yourself, or a way to teach somebody else how to do it for themselves, to keep them pushing and growing, because now their situation is different than yours. Their path is different than yours, but the lessons are still applicable. You know, there's no reason why we shouldn't communicate and share with each other our trials and tribulations, our downfalls, especially. Those are the biggest lessons there are to be had. Now, just because I failed and I shared my downfall with you doesn't mean that you're going to fail in the same manner or share my downfall. But hopefully that allows you to have a little bit more insight of a possibility that you can try to avoid, because there's so many different ways shit can go sideways. And I'm just super happy and super ecstatic to do this stuff and provide some insight and try to give motivation and try to have people learn and focus in on their journey and get over some of these mental roadblocks and these physical roadblocks and these foundation things that I wish, even though school is set up in a certain way to keep you doing a ton of things and kind of keep you well-rounded, I guess, for society, at the same time, there's certain lessons that I think need to be pushed, or certain things that I wish we had insight to growing up, or that we had exposure to, instead of being sheltered from certain things at times or all that other stuff. But at the same time, I still embrace the fact that I had the opportunity to be able to experience certain things, because that allowed growth, right? That allowed moments of pressure. The diamond was forming, is forming, it's still forming. I'm not done. You know, it's so much great shit that's going to be coming out of content from me and people of the Z Network and all that shit. So look forward to that. Look forward to all the embracing that's going to be happening, all the networking. I'm looking forward to getting my face out there publicly again. I'm looking forward to doing things in the real world for you guys as well. Working on ways to try to figure out how to get some of this content to be live, obviously, not just from a phone, but, you know, quality content for you live from some of the car shows, some of the events locally, some of the cons, if I travel or whatnot. So I really hope that we can continue this journey. I get the support that I need to continue the journey, from not just from my significant other and the people around me, but also you folks of the world. I hope you enjoy this shit, because this motivational shit right here, me being on the chat right now in front of this camera talking my shit, you guys in the chat with the verbiage and the words coming through and the emojis, that means so much, and that allows me to keep going and keep opening up and keep putting myself out there. So thank you to you, especially today, for being here, because I wasn't even going to go live. I only got about 40 minutes left that I can be on, Haven't even touched a controller yet, but these videos I think are so profound and so needed to be heard by so many that I want to make sure it's up as content on the YouTube page, that it's up as content on my Twitch channel, with me, getting through my day, doing what I got to do, chilling with you guys and vibing. So I'd appreciate it. I really do appreciate it.
First 3 years, I made $0. 3 years. Okay. The next 7 years, I made $695 a month for a total of about $58,000 my first 10 years in business. All right. I've struggled. I know what the fucking struggle is. I've been stabbed in the fucking face. I've had a gazillion things that I can't even fucking talk about to you because I'm not going to tell you my family business. Okay. But trust me when I tell you, I know a thing or two about overcoming shit. And I promise, no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, no matter what your race is, no matter who your fucking parents are, no matter what city you live in, no matter what, if you can understand to put the work in and develop the skills at the little things that you are doing now and understand that those skills are going to create skills within you that you will then carry on from here to there to your ultimate path, you will win. You will fucking win as long as you don't quit. As long as you don't let all the fucking nobodies and the negative Nancys and the fucking, oh, if they would have put me in the game in 1987, I would have won the state championships. All those people we fucking know, you put those out of your brain, you fucking win. I want to give you a little success hack. And if you've been listening to me for a long time or a short time, you probably realize that I don't believe in hacks, but this is a super powerful hack. And I touched on it a little bit. I talked about this a little bit. Now, it's really just a language trick. It's really just something that you need to understand, that how you speak to yourself determines how you act. And a lot of you guys make things harder on yourselves than what it really has to be. For example, when we talk about building a company and we talk about sacrificing the weekends and the nights out and the times with friends, the vacations, we talk about it in terms of like it's this painful thing, right? Sacrifice. Or we talk about building a body, and we talk about building your mind through, maybe 75 hard. We talk about sacrifice, and we talk about how hard it is, and we talk about how painful it is, and we almost like hang our hats on that. And I get that. I do that as well. Like, I like to think I'm a bad motherfucker. I like to think I'm putting in the fucking work nobody else will do, and that makes me feel good. But the problem with that, guys, is that sometimes that language can actually make shit artificially harder than what it has to be. And so I want you to do this. I want you to stop thinking of things in terms of sacrifice. And I want you to start thinking in terms of investment.
I am learning so much about the mentality behind the self-talk. It means so much. And I'm a jokester and I talk shit all the time. And I'll say things like, oh, you're so stupid, or I'm so stupid. Oh, God, I'm a fucking idiot. Why did I do that? Blah, blah, blah. But that I'm learning over time, for me doing it so long, has held me back. Even though I'm a person that can do things and has skills and has a head on his shoulders and like understands and has a mentality of always trying to push, even though like I have my gray days and I have, times where I've fallen into some depression and shit like that, but at the same time, I've always pulled myself out. I've always been kind of a higher performer and kind of an overachiever and perfectionist to a certain extent when it comes to things. But I'm learning that even that over so many years of me doing that, even to myself, let alone hearing it from people at times, whether it was jealousy or if it was joking or whatever, that may have played a role in some of my habits and behaviors, after the fact, that have brewed subconsciously that I never realized were taking form or shape. And now it's one of those things that I'm super mindful of, and I try to watch myself. And even if I say something on stream like, oh, fuck, I'm such a dumbass, I did that, I didn't mean to. I'm like, wait, self-talk. We can do that better next time. Like, I change the dialogue, change it. Because it means so much, because repetition, especially your own self-image, if you can't look at yourself in the mirror and like high five yourself or show yourself some love, or, if you're not taking care of your mind and your spirit and your body, then it's kind of a fucking hindrance completely, and you're setting yourself up for failure right off the rip. So that's one of those things that, another thing in this that just hit home, and I had to make sure I can hear over and over. So much so to the fact that I got these downloaded as MP3s and audio files, so I can play them as I go out or whatnot on, MP3 player or my phone or whatever. Where I'm at, I can just log in. It's in the drive. I can access it. Because sometimes I'm going to want to wake up first thing in the morning and hit this, at 5 a.m. So while I'm doing my calisthenics, or I'm doing my little workout regimen, or if I'm going for my walk, or if I'm doing my dishes and my laundry, or sweeping or mopping the floor, whatever. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. It's like the self-talk, being mindful of how you treat yourself. Like, it's one thing to not go easy on yourself to the point that you're holding yourself back, and it's like, no, it's okay, like he says in the video, oh, it's fine, 17th place, that was fine. Like, I'm a firm believer, like, I don't get the participation trophies, never did, never will. You know why? Because that shit, not getting a trophy back in the day and feeling like shit sometimes, made me push harder and keep going. Yeah, sometimes I might have needed a kick in the butt to go try it again and do it again. But as I started developing, getting older, and realizing, shit, every time I did it, I got a little bit better. Every time I did it, I got a little bit better. Then I got more better. Then I got more better. Then I got more better. And it started becoming a thing of the repetition, the muscle memory, the experience. That's the biggest thing in every scope of everything, right? I mean, I'm sure some of you can attest to this. It's not about whether or not you can do it. Sometimes it's about whether or not you have the opportunity to do it and fail and continue to learn and get better. It's about, having the exposure to it. It's about experience. You don't become an expert without experience, right? So that's why I love shit like this, and I gotta fucking, pin mark these and put these up and share this with you guys at times, because I really want to make sure that other people out there are reminding themselves that sometimes it's okay to fail. It's okay to be shit, as long as you keep going and you keep pushing and be better, and you keep working on you keep working on the aspects that you're deficient in, but you're not fucking murdering yourself in your head about it. You're not, down talking yourself to the point that you are demoralizing yourself or you're demotivating yourself. Because there's enough of that shit going on social media and the rest of the world and all that shit. You don't need to be that person for you. There's going to be other people that you need to identify and be able to fucking kill that beast, squash that monster, slay that shit, and push them out, or just cut them off and shit like that. But you can't cut yourself off, unfortunately. So you got to learn to live with yourself. You got to learn to be, in tune with yourself, self-aware, and also understand what's making you tick so that you can work forward, not work backwards. Sometimes you need to take a couple steps back in order to go forward, and you got to realize some shit. You'll know at those points when you need to, because when you keep beating your head against a brick wall and you can't figure out why, it's probably the time for you to take a couple steps back and stop thinking, but because you know this, that, or the third, you should be able to go here, but you can't go there because something keeps holding you back. Time to go look in that mirror, deep into your eyes, and have a conversation and figure out if it's you. If you got some friends around you that are going to be real with you and actually tell you, like, yo, you're fucking up, yo, you know what? I think that's a you problem, bro. Then kudos, and those are some of the people to keep around, but not the people that are doing it maliciously just to make themselves feel better.
All right, one of the biggest mistakes that you will make as a human on a path to success, whether that success be financially, physically, spiritually, in interpersonal relationships, whatever it is, or success in all areas, when you think of it as a sacrifice, you're making it extra hard on yourself. And so what I want you to do is I want you to start thinking about investment. And I want you to understand that when you miss the weekends with the guys, or miss the night out with the girls, or you pass on the trip, or you do this, you're not sacrificing anything. You're actually making an investment.
That's so important, because we do things like go to school and we go, oh, it's a sacrifice now because you're going to put up this bill and all this shit. But it's an investment. It's an investment in yourself. The time you spend, learning how to use a certain tool if you're in a trade, or, a certain piece of equipment if you're, I don't know, out in the field fixing roads, or you're using software, you're an engineer, or you're using whatever in the computer world, this streaming, learning to use these pieces of software, these pieces of equipment, all the things that are around me that are making this possible right now. It takes time. Not only did they have the monetary cost and then the time to set it up and then the time to learn how to use it correctly, dial everything in, get settings all situated, that's all an investment. It's not a sacrifice. So I've been streaming off and on for about a year, give or take, but wasn't taking it as seriously as I'm taking it now, for the simple fact that, well, I shouldn't say that I wasn't taking it seriously. I wasn't doing it in the nature that I was doing it because I was so focused on so many other things and so many bits of it that now I got my head wrapped around it, because I took the time in investing the notion of prioritizing things, learning equipment, learning software, dialing things in. So now that I'm comfortable and have the confidence because of the experience that I've gained, now I'm able to do it closer to the vision that I had as far as when I started this and doing the podcasting and doing the game streaming and doing interviewing and shit like that. So it's not a sacrifice because I missed out on doing certain things that I wanted to do at times, or I couldn't do what I wanted to do in the moment of my planning or of my content creation because I hit a roadblock with the software or the shit that the equipment I was using, because sound would go out or the video wouldn't work, or I can get it to hear it when I record it, but I couldn't get it out to a test stream. All these different hiccups that I experienced, that was all an investment in time to be able to do this, because now I can do it. Now it's done. I can talk to you. You can see me. You can hit up my chat, right? You can watch me play games. You can come and play games with me. You can send me your gamer tag and I can get down in a match with you. Like, that's an investment. So now that I'm at the point that I can do it, it's coming almost second nature. Things are easily navigated when I do need to troubleshoot certain things because of the experience that I had, and now I'm slowly becoming closer to an expert in it. I'll be able to transition these skills to someone else and teach them how to do it themselves, but then I can also elaborate on that and teach them how to take their game to the next level as I'm learning more and taking more time of investment to myself and the stream to level that up while leveling somebody else up or growing the community or responding to people and engaging. That's why this shit's fucking dope.
Because the investment is delayed gratification, and you just haven't seen the payoff yet. All right? So when you miss a night out to work out, you're not sacrificing a night out. You're making an investment in the future. And that investment in the future is going to create a better life. It's going to create more money. It's going to create better relationships. It's going to create a better body. It's going to create more confidence. When you're getting something in return for what you're giving up, it's not really a sacrifice, it's an investment. And this is something that all of you guys need to get really clear on, because as men especially, and some women, we like to feel tough. We like to feel badass. And I'm guilty of pushing that a little bit, sometimes too, because I like to feel badass. But the truth of the matter is that when I skip something fun to do something that's hard, I know that there's a payoff coming later. And what this really comes down to is understanding delayed gratification. And if you guys can understand and make the decisions that delay the gratification, you're making an investment. A sacrifice is really just you giving something up. And it sounds like shit. What sounds better? I'm making an investment in my future, or I'm sacrificing?
That's one of those things that is very important, especially for, like I said, my generation, Gen X, or am I Gen Y? I think I'm Gen X. Y, Z, whatever. Basically, if you're under 40 down, we've become so in the moment with the connectivity of our phones. We've become so in the need of high-speed internet and getting a web page to load faster and getting information quicker, faster, being in contact with people constantly, that we lost sight of the notion of delayed gratification, of building for that reward, of doing something and earning that. Like, we know we got to earn our check. We know we want to earn a promotion, but we want it now. We don't want to be able to go through and embrace the process and the struggle and, the headache of having to learn it, having to fuck it up, and having somebody tell you it's done right now this way, or this is how to do it correctly, or you did a great job on that, let's see if we can push you a little bit more. We don't want that. We just want to be like, all right, tell me everything I got to do, give me a checklist, and I'm going to go through this checklist, and then I want what I want. Yeah, that's kind of how it works, but that's not how it works with the quickness that for some reason we all want and expect these days. And it's super frustrating to me. Super frustrating to me. It's got to be one of those things that, what? Yeah, and we do. I mean, and that's, you know, he touched on earlier, Lou, with the whole millennial thing, is like younger people. It's like we all want what we want right now, but besides that, we feel like we deserve it. No, like at this point now, like listening to it and seeing it, thinking about it, and like thinking about my experiences, you know, I'm fortunate to have had the opportunity to get what I deserved or what I thought I deserved. That's the only thing you deserve, is the opportunity. Then it's up to you to take the action, do the footwork, go through the process, and go through the struggle of building yourself to the point that you get what you wanted and that you get what you was trying to get out of it. Super fucking profound for me to be thinking about today and be like, fuck, you know what? I'm just happy I had those opportunities because I was able to take away X, Y, and Z. And I've always been a person that's like, yo, no matter what you do in life, in your jobs or whatever, take whatever training, do whatever you do, get through the bumps and bruises, build your resume. Because at the end of the day, the one thing that if they fire you or you quit, no one can ever take away from you is the knowledge and experience that you earned, right? Because now you understand how the inner workings of that business works. Now you understand how you can adapt your skills, or which skills you had to adapt and learn in order to get yourself to that point. And once it's on that resume, no one can ever take it away. This is the same notion with books and literature, right? This is a reason why in past and history, certain people were allowed to read and were taught how to read and certain people weren't, because they knew knowledge is power. And once you have the knowledge and then you have the experience behind the knowledge of practicing it and trying it, nothing can stop you and nothing can take you away from that. And you can't be thrown backwards. You can only keep going forward. And that's why books and knowledge and information is so powerful. That's why today we mine information on everybody to learn behaviors, to learn traits, to learn, you know, trends with everyone so that we can steer things, we can guide conversations or content and all that stuff. And it's fucking insane and crazy, but it's always been that thing. It's always been a controlling factor. It's always been one of the most sought after commodities that you either pay tons of fucking money for, or you spend tons of time and tons of effort to obtain and retain, because it takes also extra energy and effort to retain the knowledge that you're reading through these books, that you're reading in these articles, that you're getting from the forums or the groups that you hang out with and the people who have the experience, your mentors, your teachers. That's where it all comes in. So it's very important that people realize, especially youngster right here, Mr. Just Hyper Better, talking about black men kissing, which I don't understand what that's got to be about. Just, you gotta enjoy the process. I know he's an intelligent kid. I know he's going through schooling and a bunch of different stuff. He's learning every day. He pushes himself. I mean, he's one of the best players I've seen in Apex, which means he understands the grind, right? He knows the process behind having to learn the movements, the buttons, how to make them, the timings right, and correlate all these different things. Now imagine him applying every single one of those skills that he learned to every aspect that he has, whether it's his job, his relationships, his love interests, or whatever it may be, his hobbies. He can accelerate very rapidly. And you can see it in the short time that, like, this game has been out. He's fucking masterful in it. So now you need to understand that him being masterful there means he can also be masterful in pretty much anything, as long as he spends the time grinding it out and making the process enjoyable for him to the point that it becomes second nature. It's easy, and he's just godly at it.
The night out with the guys. You're not fucking missing anything. You're not losing anything. You're not giving anything up. That's some bullshit that everybody does their whole fucking life. It's no different than what every other human does.
And to the whole aspect of ignoring the real world, it's not that they're ignoring the real world. It's that they're living in the real world, but ignoring what's real to them. Ignoring what's real and what really matters to their life, their dreams, their progression the vision that they have, and it's so easy to get distracted by keeping up with the Joneses. And like, what I mean by that is, hey, everybody's going out Friday night, I gotta go out and hang out too. I gotta go drink, I gotta go smoke, I gotta do this. I'm not talking that down or not condoning any of that, because there are certain things that I still enjoy as well. I mean, I'm wearing a fucking shirt with a pot leaf on it at the moment that I drew, but at the same time, you need to understand the balance of things, and there's a right time and a wrong time for it all, right? I mean, there's, when you realize that what you're doing isn't helping your situation, who's going to stop you from doing what you're doing? So if you love smoking weed and all you do is smoke fucking weed and you don't get nothing done throughout your day, you're not productive, it's not helping you with either your schoolwork, it's not helping you at your job and furthering your career, it's not helping you with your relationship, whether it's parents, loved one, grandparents, a wife, you know, husband, whatever it is, then obviously you need to take a step back from that. You need to fucking chill out, take a couple days off, take a week off, whatever it is. You know, if you realize you're having a problem with it, seek help if you need to. But then at the same time, if you like drinking, same shit. And drinking is one of the worst to me. Is like, that shit I've seen completely take over people's lives. Like, I've seen functional alcoholics that were stellar. I've seen functional potheads that were stellar. But at the same time, there's the bad as well. Do you want to find out which one it is by pushing yourself to those limits? I don't. I never want to. So that's one of those things. Like, you got to be self-aware and able to identify different triggers, whether it's a trigger of a response of action that you're able to take that makes you want to take action, or if it's a trigger that hinders you from taking action or makes you okay with the mediocrity or wherever you're sitting in whatever situation you're in. It becomes a very difficult balance to realize what's real and what's not. Because, yeah, your friends are important sometimes. They can be really helpful, like we discussed earlier. Or they can be the fucking hindrance or the down talker or the people talking shit behind your back. They aren't actually in your corner. You got to be able to identify that. You got to be able to identify if your family is toxic or healthy for you. You got to be able to identify if your relationship is toxic or healthy. It's fucking, it's one of those things, man.
Does. And it's what everybody does. It's not something that you're missing. You're choosing to make an investment in yourself. You're choosing to make an investment in your money. You're choosing to make an investment in your body. You're choosing to make an investment in your relationships. And you need to remember that when you talk to yourself. Because if we constantly tell ourselves that we're sacrificing everything, we're always going to feel empty. We're always going to feel like we're not happy.
That's one thing I can attest to, is I never felt like at any point in my life, through everything I've done, every grind that I've had, every pinnacle that I've hit, and every plateau and ceiling that I've hit and couldn't get through or whatever, that I wasn't sacrificing. It was an investment. And I'm always looking for the gratification into, well, where's the payoff? Where's the payoff? Where's the payoff? And it wasn't coming as fast as I wanted it, or thought it should in my head. And that's the other thing. Expectations need to be managed, because that's where you get disappointment. That's where you get regret. That's where you get the, fuck, maybe I shouldn't do this, or maybe I should quit, or whatever. But at the same time, like, that shit just really, really, really hit home, because you're not having anything paid back, whether it's now or whatever, especially if you're like a philanthropist, right? You do community service, you're helping people. The reward isn't anything tangible that you can feel all the time. Sometimes it's just a feeling. Sometimes it's the notion of knowing in your heart you did something well, or that you impacted somebody, right? You influenced somebody, you helped somebody in need. Getting that through your head and making sure that you keep mindfulness of that, that's one of the hardest things there is, because you want something out of it, but sometimes if it's not physical, we don't realize that it actually occurred, and that can fucking hurt you.
Having anything paid back. We always going to feel like we're doing all of these things for nothing, which is not the truth.
And that will leave you empty. That will leave you searching more. That will leave you feeling like, when is enough enough? And the truth of the matter is, it's when you say it's enough. You need to be happy with the shit that you did, with the shit that you got, with the shit you went through. If you're not, you will never, ever, ever, ever be fulfilled. You will never, ever, ever, ever feel like you accomplished anything, you did anything. And that's what I've been going through for the last almost year and a half. You know, so it definitely hit home to hear that. And I'm glad I can relay this and have this message play and talk about it as well. Because I got to get going here in like 20 minutes, 30, yeah, in like 10 minutes. But at the same time, like, it's one of the biggest lessons in life that you can learn, is that just because you're doing something and you're going through a hard time of it, or you're chasing something and you're building off of it, you need to be mindful of that and the process, not just that, hey, there's a reward that you may or may not get, and if you don't get the reward in the time frame you were estimating or expecting because you didn't manage your expectations correctly, then you feel like a failure. And that's not true. You got to remind yourself, cool, you got from here to here, not to here. It's okay. You didn't have to go from here to here, but you went from here to here. Now you went from here to here. Now from here you went to here. Oh shit, you're getting closer. Now from here you went to here. Okay, you might only go from here to here, but finally, eventually, you'll get those last 3-4 steps up to that pinnacle that you needed to get to. But in all of that, the gratification and the fucking winning is in getting to those points, getting to those little achievements. Gaming does that, right? They send you these little bing notifications that you reached a certain achievement, blah, 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 blah. Unfortunately, real life doesn't have that shit pop up. So we got to be the ones mindful of what the fuck we just went through, what happened, what got us there, what did we have to deal with, what did we learn? Okay, that's the payoff for me there. I learned X, Y, and Z. I failed at this, but I got better at this, and I learned to get better at this that I failed at. But here I am at this level. Win. Right?
The truth is that we're doing these things for something, and that means it's an investment. So that's my hack for you guys. We don't have this long, drawn-out process here. Just start replacing the idea of sacrifice and instead think of it as an investment. That will make your days much easier, much more fulfilling, much more pleasurable. If you know that you're going to get up and do this fucking work because it's going to get you this later, and you understand and believe that, and you're making an investment, it becomes that much easier to do. But when you tell yourself, oh man, I'm going to miss, this dinner or this wedding or this trip or this, that, so that I can stay on my program, or I can, focus on my business, or I can do these things. All you ever focus on is what you missed. All you ever focus on is what you're giving up. And if you focus on what you're giving up, you're going to become obsessed with what you're giving up. And eventually that's going to break you because you're going to be focused on the wrong shit. So this is really about tricking yourself with using different language so that you focus on the right thing, so that you're focused on the outcome. You're focused on what you're going to get. You're focused on the work you're doing. You're excited about the work you're doing because you know that the payoff is going to come. All right? And the reason that you guys struggle with this mentality is because most of you haven't ever really accomplished anything yet to believe that the payoff is coming. This is where using a role model or listening to someone who has actually done the things that you want to do is valuable, because these people can show you if you do X, you will get Y in return. And in the beginning, when you haven't experienced this for yourself, you got to have a little faith. You got to believe in the other guy that you're watching. And you got to be smart enough to know and believe that if it works for that motherfucker, it's going to work for me too, most of the time.
And just to touch on the other thing that he was saying, how like sometimes you need that person, the coach, the motivator, the things to listen to. That's the thing about social media. There's so much negative shit coming at us in the news and all this shit that like we forget to fucking make sure we're filtering in other good shit to fucking balance out or surpass all the negative shit that we're getting. But then on top of that, when he's talking about all of the things to focus on and, making sure that you're paying attention to those things that are coming at you so that you can focus on the right things and changing the dialogue with the self-talk and all of that shit. The little hack that he's talking about. The other thing that's important too is be mindful of yourself. Be aware of yourself. If you're a person that doesn't connect with being able to sort thoughts out easily, but you're really good at compiling them, then you need to write the shit down. You need to get it down on a piece of paper, blah, 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 blah. Even if they're all out of order, and then you can always go back later while you're either on the john or you're laying in bed or whatever, and you can go ahead and sort them and make another list with prioritizing things or grouping the things that need to go together so that you got a focused laser beam plan or structure to the tasks that need to be done to get you to X, Y, and Z level, or to get you to be able to have certain comforts or live a certain life or excel in your career or be able to get better at gaming or your streaming or, you know, talking to people, whatever your goals are. If you're not mindful of your strengths and your weaknesses, but you're not beating yourself up over your weaknesses, you're just making sure you're aware of them so that you know how to work around them and with them, because you can't negate them, you can't ignore them completely, because they're still a part of you and they're going to come up and they're going to be in your course of actions and all that shit. So if you have a method, I write everything down when I can. I've been for, I don't even know, like I'm off and on with it for the last year or so, but some of the best times and strides that I had in my careers was when I was able to always keep focused and have things written out, have things bullet pointed, have things working for me. I had this discussion with my buddy Dreams the Creator a couple months ago, and I realized that again, that all this time through the streaming and all this stuff, even though I've had super great days where I've had great lists drawn out and I start to knock things off, whether it takes me 1 day or 6 days to knock off that entire list, at least I had it on the list, and the focus of that list is still achieved, whether I threw extra shit in on myself to get things done in the moment, or, oh, I had a really good idea at this point, so let me do this. So it still leaves it there, so it's on the paper, it's on somewhere that you can refer back to so that you can get back to the mission. Because let's say you're a gamer, you're playing Grand Theft Auto, right? One of the biggest open world games, or Red Dead Redemption or The Witcher, whatever your cup of tea is. There's certain things that you have the main story in the missions, but then you got all this extra side shit going on, and if that shit just distracts you all the time, you might level up and you might get to, you know, certain things you need, but at the same time you're not going to get to the point that you really want, which is to see the story progress, get to the end of it, figure out where the chapter's going, what could be coming up for the next one, and all that shit. So you're never going to actually get to the end result that you really intended to at the beginning. You might get results out of it, but it's never going to be the exact thing that you needed completely fulfilled, because you're not doing what you can for yourself to set yourself up for success and not failure. So it's good to have thoughts come. It's good to be able to keep them in order if you can in your head, but we all know a million thoughts a day, from laundry to kids to the pets, or, you know, getting on stream, or getting to your job, dealing with your wife, dealing with, you know, whatever the hell else, whatever family issues, whatever money issues. So you got to be able to identify certain things within yourself to help yourself out. Change the dialogue of the self narrative from I suck to I am good at this, can be better at this. Change, you know, how you're structuring yourself for your day. Get up, let your feet hit the fucking ground, and get running, get going. I'm not saying go out for a run. I'm saying as soon as you wake up, you see that, you open your eyes, get to something. Go do something, whether it's hop in the shower, put something on to motivate you, to remind yourself of how great you are. Go stare at yourself in the mirror, meet yourself again every day after you say thanks for the breath and being able to breathe. Now you're being able to see, now you're being able, and just keep that gratitude going. Keep focus, write all your shit down, and just stay in tune with yourself. Yo, I gotta get going. I'll be back in a little bit. I'm gonna keep going on this. I'm gonna play this out. You guys
might
enjoy
have to make a little adjustment here or there.
It's only about another minute or so.
We live in an
By the time this
environment
is done,
where
I'll be out.
if you put
Thank you
X
for coming
in,
by.
you get
Appreciate
Y
y'all
out
that was in
most of the
here
time.
on this
All right?
motivational
So find
Wednesday.
someone who has
Gonna
done
get
what
in
you
some
wanna do,
Apex or
pay
Fortnite
attention
later on
to what
tonight.
they
So
do,
thank you.
make the
I should be
investments
back
that
in
they're
about
making, and trust that the
half
result
an
is
hour,
coming your
45
way.
minutes
And
or
if
so,
you do that,
then I
it
gotta
will be
leave again.
much
So I may
easier
not
for you to move forward
play or do anything
than
until
it
later
is
tonight. I
right
haven't
now
figured
when
that
you're
out yet.
telling yourself
Don't
constantly
forget to
about
like,
all the
subscribe,
shit you're
follow,
missing and giving
go
up
check me out
and,
on
you know,
TikTok, Instagram,
sacrificing
Facebook.
for
I
the
need all the
future.
followership.
You're
I
not
need the views. I'm
sacrificing
trying to
shit.
go
You've
live
already done
on
that
TikTok.
shit. You know what
Appreciate
it's like.
y'all. Love y'all.
You know what it's about, and you know where it's going. Start making the investment. Make the investment in you. Build a better life. Be excited about that investment. Know that it's going to produce a result, and things are going to get much more clear, much more simple. And what you'll find is you're going to develop positive momentum at a much quicker rate. All right? So it's just a little language hack. It's not a sacrifice. It's an investment.
Peace.